Hello everyone, this is JPL, back for another nostalgic reaction, the series where I watch things that I'm nostalgic about. This time around we are returning to the world of Mentally Advanced series. We're going to be taking a look at the next batch of episodes. Episodes 11 to 15. Now, interestingly, people who have watched the Mentally Advanced series are familiar with the concept of episode 11. And that concept is that there is no episode 11 because it was never officially released. Whenever Greg was making the series, he skipped episode 11. But he did actually make episode 11. It was the Fall Weather Friends episode. He mostly completed the episode, but kind of dropped it because he didn't really like the direction the whole thing went. So he skipped it, went straight to episode 12. But, there are copies of that episode around. He has showcased it sometimes at conventions, several work live streams, so people are aware of it, they have seen it, and it is an episode. I'm going to be covering it today, because, sure, yeah, why not? But what people probably are not always aware of is the fact that there is an episode 23. Yes, the Party of One episode. So, pretty much what happened there was that he had mostly finished the episode, but then the Hasbro copyright system happened, and so he wasn't able to finish it or release it. So, it is an unreleased episode, but you can still find versions of that episode. We're going to be returning with the next set of episodes where, Hasbro stuff happens, and so that's forced Greg to change the way he makes his episodes. So Also, I think the next batch of episodes is actually like some of my favorite stuff. So why don't we get started?
All right. Dash, are you trying to hit my windows? Or not on purpose?
Right.
Is that extra points? No. It ain't. Well, it was still a great throw. I'm kicking your butt, Apple.
Back to this Rainbow Dash.
All my shoes are right there next to the stake in the ground. That's the spirit, Applejack. You can still make a comeback. Go on. I believe in you.
You can tell it's unfinished. Not all the sound effects are in. We don't have the music.
The one I threw on the roof. Look, sweetheart, this has been fun throwing my footwear around and all, but I think we ought to talk business.
I haven't seen this episode a whole lot. Of course, because it's unreleased.
Come on, you stupid horse. It's just a bug. There's nothing to see. I can look at a butterfly if I want to. Oh,
right.
Because you're the boss. Live with it, chump. You need to lighten up a little. It's important, and I think you know what I never thought was important?
What?
Toothpaste. Seriously. Tell you what. Why don't you stick
I
around?
mean, you use that to brush your teeth.
So anyway, the point is that toothpaste is 2,430 parts per million fluoride, whereas drinking water only contains 1 part per million. If you guys keep doing push-ups like that, you're gonna pop the blood vessels leading to your brain,
Yeah.
Continuous exercise leads to a skyrocket in blood pressure. Oh, speaking of which, I was reading this interesting article on the
Yes. Man, I love the tangents that this series gets into. Sometimes it's very informative.
Why's your wings all tied up, girl? Did y'all escape from Pinky's basement again? No, I'm on probation. Probation? What for? Embezzling rain, apparently. But I filled out all the embezzlement for it.
Embezzling rain.
What now? Wait, y'all can embezzle rain? There's forms that make embezzling legal. Yes. Twilight, are there forms that make embezzling legal? What have you been embezzling? Apples? Behold, Pinkie Pie. Pinkie stole the balloon, and now she owns the sky.
Oh no.
Pinkie is in the air.
The worst person to own the sky.
I'll bring Pinkie down with all of you watching. Pinkie is watching them. Yes. Hey, where'd you get that balloon? Nowhere. Around. It is Pinkie's. Trust her. I watch her. My pure hate caresses her body, willing her to cease breathing. And every night I stop myself only to cook another plate of those damn pancakes. The same thing every morning.
Wants to murder.
I deliver mail and wash the dishes. My teeth grate.
A different form of Spike abuse compared to the Friendship is Witchcraft. This one is psychological abuse.
I wish she and everyone else were gone so I wouldn't have to think of it anymore. Just because we're trapped in another mandatory government mood swing doesn't mean I'm gonna get all sweaty. I know.
So the running of the leaves is a government mood swing, huh?
Okay, I'm not making small talk. Oh, hey, did you hear about those 2 ponies that got arrested for stealing from the government? Oh, yeah, they were the Elements of Harmony. Hey, didn't Celestia organize that team?
Oh.
Well, she sure did. I wonder if she's incompetent. Oh.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
we're on the same page now.
More
Yeah,
of
that's
the
also bad news. Oh, well, I'm not ready yet. Hang on a minute. She's coming to town
evil
today for some
Celestia.
kind of weather-related problem. Did I not just tell you that I wasn't mentally prepared for that? Damn it! It's all right. Maybe she's still just investigating.
And well, that's all that's the episode had. So yeah, no, there is potential in this. I do feel like, and I think Greg also noticed, like in hindsight, that he probably could have released this one as well. But yeah, it's just a little interesting extra bit of stuff that's fun. Yeah. Greg has noted that Fall Weather Friends is like a very difficult episode to abridge or parody because a lot of it is the characters running. There's not a whole lot of like conversational points, and so since Greg's main thing is like characters having different conversations, this was like a difficult thing for him. I think a lot of the weaker episodes of most of Bridge series is this episode, Fall Weather Friends, because of that reason. You know, so yeah. Yeah, still entertaining though. On to the next one. Yeah, so here, Greg just plays out the entire episode of episode 11 here in the previously section. And it takes a while. And if you're not in the know of like what this is or what happened, it can be like a confusing little thing. So here we have an intro, which is different than what he normally does. There are 2 versions of this intro, one with Greg singing and another with some other voice.
Oh, my life is over.
Ah, yes. The depressed Rarity episode.
Comes as a delegate. Give Pinky nuclear power. Yes. And then she will return your garbage can.
Do not give her nuclear power.
Pinky, get back her garbage. I don't even know why we came up here.
Leave my house and never come back.
No. What do you mean no? What'd you do that for? I don't know. She told me what to do.
Yeah.
She's not the boss.
I knew I had good friends. You're also reliable. And I don't treat you well enough.
Oh, man. Now
Yes.
if you leave, I'll
They're in
feel
awkward
bad.
situation,
even
backed
wanna
into
hear
a
it.
corner.
I shouldn't tell you.
Rarity, shut up. Okay, fine. I'll tell you. I didn't think you'd be so aggressive about it. Why? What?
Yeah, this episode is about Rarity's love life and how things aren't working out. There's a lot of innuendo going on. You're probably not going to see any of that because this is a family-friendly channel.
You left me.
So what? I thought you had to do the dishes or something. What do you mean, thought I had to do the dishes? When did dishes
Right.
become a part
Doing
of
the
the
dishes,
story?
any
I'm
manual
sure
labor,
you're weak
like
and rich
doing the
weak.
laundry
Y'all
and
wake up in the
such.
morning and realize you gotta wash dishes, so y'all just break down and cry. Well, maybe just use like
My life is not at that
like,
point.
wash
I
that
can still
dish
do the
and then
dishes.
reuse it every
I
night,
just
and then that way, when you
grumble.
get to the end of the week, you'll be like, oh, I've only got 1 dish to wash.
I have a dishwasher, if that helps.
Yeah, but then you have to put all the dishes away. Just try to be more efficient, Rarity. I am not sad about the stupid dishes. You guys can't listen worth crap. Then why are we talking about dishes? Pinky is confused.
Yeah.
I am sad because a stallion broke up with me. How is that less stupid? You can't just trivialize it like that. I just did. Deal with it.
I think this episode has like some of my favorite just bickering and conversation.
Pinky feels nothing.
You know, I don't always love the subject matter in this
Pal, you're so
episode.
crappy. Do we seriously have
The
to resolve
side
this?
tangents are a lot of
Yes.
fun.
Rarity, stop it.
Why? You just want to make me feel worse.
Yes. No, we're gonna cheer you Sure. We're gonna do it in shifts though, starting with triple threat.
Can't remember Fluttershy's name. Poor Fluttershy just doesn't know what to do. Just sits there, staring. A lot like me in a lot of ways.
If you value this boy, he will fall down the stairs. Yes.
Oh, yes.
And then he is
Pinky
Okay.
Yes.
and her blackmail.
Why would he be arrested?
Because Pinky has already called the authorities. He thinks he is in the outfield where he is safe from getting strikes.
Uh-huh.
But Pinky has fooled him. Yes. Soon he will succumb to your love.
If he goes
Pinky.
to prison, I don't see how he spends less time with the guys.
When he is made to be guilty, he will return to you. Yes.
Okay, I think we have a different understanding of the definition of guilt.
Fall down the stairs.
What the hell is this? I thought we were cheering her up.
Twilight called me old.
Pinky is confused
Yes.
about what we are trying
Be
to
careful with what choice of
Yeah,
words
I really like
you
Rarity.
use
Maybe we could not
with
cheer her
Rarity,
up.
because
Shut up,
she'll...
Dash.
I don't want to be cheered up by you guys anymore. You're terrible.
Shut up, Rarity. I'm not looking at your butt.
Pinky informed him that you were dead. Yes. Now he will never
Oh,
bother you again.
Pinky.
Pinky has solved the problem.
My luncher.
The yellow one sabotaged us.
Sorry. I don't know what you think is so appealing about your butt.
I'm just a fat sack.
I don't understand.
Oh, Rainbow.
Fluttershy said you were fat.
Fluttershy is such a.
I'm sorry, I don't know how it happened.
Pinky,
Pinky, hope
stop
tomorrow
blaming
is
Fluttershy.
your home of toothpicks.
I'm not looking at your butt, okay?
So basically you're saying that we couldn't cheer you up.
No, you did the opposite of that.
Oh.
Hmm. Well, that was that episode. Yeah, that was that episode, which, you know, like I said, has a lot of really fun dialogue. But then, you know, it's also, I don't always love the subject matter that they choose, especially with how they handle Rarity's character. Again, this is a family-friendly channel, mostly, and so stuff like this doesn't always work, but, you know, again, I like some of the bickering that they do, so, yeah, on to the next one. Alright, this is the point in the series where Greg moves on to still frames versus using actual animation, which
Hey there, Twitchy. What are you up to today?
Nothing.
leads to
He
probably
maintains the innocence.
It looks like you're
more
both very used to the
creative
past.
How do you dare?
ways of
Pinky's
doing the
rainbow
episode.
How long have you had tremors like that, Pinky?
Pinky has not the tremors. Yes. Behold.
Yeah, I see it's your butt. Thanks. Pinky, tremors like that are usually caused by multiple sclerosis, tumors, brain injuries. Have you notified a doctor?
Pinky does not need the
Twilight
doctor for
trying
two
to
reasons. First is that the doctor
diagnose
will find Pinky's teeth
Pinky's
with fluoride.
twitching.
Second is that Pinky is aware of what causes her ailment.
It's not zebras.
Of course, it is not zebras. Guys, UV radiation is.
If you're insinuating that Celestia kills her political opponents with UV radiation, you should not insinuate that.
You
Yeah.
will not be silenced. Yes.
It'll spread fear of Celestia, which is exactly what she wants.
Right.
Pinky will say nothing. Yes.
Raining frogs. That girl is actually a plague.
Yep. I get it. I get the
See, because
reference.
it's like in the story of...
Mhm.
Never mind,
I'm surprised. I was always surprised at just how not a lot of people, when they were reacting to this episode, got the reference. Which always made me a little sad, because it's a fun reference.
Pinky's got a brain tumor,
Also, psychic powers.
but mainly a tumor. And I told her to
Oh,
go see a
boy.
doctor, but she won't go.
Well, I don't believe in doctors personally. You know how they say, an apple a day keeps the doctor away, and I am an apple.
You guys are gonna die.
Granny never saw
I
no
mean,
doctors, and she's lived darn
yeah.
near forever.
Everybody dies
Recent
eventually.
case study To gauge the effectiveness of a medical treatment.
Well, that's funny, Twilight. I would have pegged you as someone being all about studies.
Oh,
Case studies don't have statistical significance.
Because everybody knows there's a horrible hydra
Right.
in the bog, and it eats ponies.
why does nobody know that there's a Hydra?
Are y'all
Why do
sure
we
about
never
that?
see the Hydra again after this
Well, we need to
episode?
book it.
I
Come
don't
on,
know.
you two. I can't believe y'all don't know about the Hydra that lives spitting distance from Ponyville.
His name is Richard. He is allergic to peanuts, and he has a birthday in 4 weeks. We will die as we lived. Yes, hating Fluttershy.
I agree with that sentiment.
Oh, no.
sorry, everyone.
Oh, Fluttershy.
With your magic powers? Oh crap! I just remembered I'm really good at magic.
Yes.
You guys get across the ledge. I'll
Which
cover
is
your
why
asses.
you're gonna run at them without using magic. Uh,
Somebody help.
yeah. I love the way that
Sure, this is how you want to spend
here
your-
they depict Twilight's
There's something
growing
neurological
injury as
Pinky.
like her healing from a
Everyone's well aware
injury.
of that. Yeah, but everyone's also perfectly content to call it Pinky's magic or whatever.
Mhm.
Afraid it's gonna turn out to be a magical tumor. And if it is, what exactly are you planning to do? Well, I figure she's gotta be asleep to do surgery anyway, so maybe just get her while she's asleep and do surgery. That's
But why
very
do you
unethical.
care,
So is letting
Twilight?
My friends die from idiocy. I don't know, Spike. I'm starting to think you might be right. She seems pretty healthy physically anyway. Well, Twilight, I'm glad you're finally getting over it, but I feel like we spent too much time on this. What are you talking about? We have a ton of data. We've got a lot of Pinkie Pie's patterns on record. I thought the point was to prove she had a magical tumor. Well, that was my first hypothesis, but now we have a ton of data and I can make a new one. Twilight,
But
nay.
why do you
Stop,
want to make a
stop.
new one,
We cut
Twilight?
ourselves from the world to watch Pinkie Pie.
You
I'm
gonna
studying
release a
friendship,
paper on
Spike.
this?
I think you were meant to study by making friends, not watching them.
This Twilight never learns the value of friendship. She's just still too scientific.
Do you ever have headaches, specifically in the morning?
Yes, but only on Thursdays.
On Thursdays,
Feel
yeah.
like you have problems with nausea or vomiting.
Only when Pinky is drunk. Yes, or not drunk enough.
On
a
Thursday.
Do you find
Yes.
you have issues with your hearing or your vision?
No, yes, except
On Thursday.
Do you
Yes.
sometimes find it difficult to remember things?
I can't
yes,
remember
Pinky
last
cannot
Thursday.
remember any of last Thursday.
Yeah.
Pinky begins to see a pattern.
Pinky, how do you remember having all these symptoms on Thursday if you can't even remember last Thursday?
Maybe Pinky remembers incorrectly. Then maybe Pinky goes home.
Yeah.
So, Twilight,
Pinky's
what do you
not gonna
think?
give you
I
straight
think
answers.
Pinkie Pie is a microcosm of case studies, and she's never gonna fit into a model.
Yeah, I don't understand anything that's going on. I'm not very scientifically minded, so
That's what you're going with, huh?
this
Yeah.
is just
We need to
a
come
lot
up with
of
something.
jargon,
Okay.
a lot of stuff that I don't quite understand, but it seems entertaining while watching, so yeah. Yeah, the new style is fun. I do enjoy the still frames. You know, while I do like the normal way of doing it, I do think that having the still frames, one, helped in with copyright, of course, but also opens up the opportunity of like telling stories in different ways where they're not limited by the mouth movements of characters. They could just do whatever frame they want and add a new context to it, which you could still do that with like video, but here I think you can get away with a lot of things more, because then you have to deal, because in video you have to deal with lip sync, where here you don't have to do it that much. But anyway, on to the next one. All right,
So Fluttershy, you remember when my mom used
This-
to tell us not to fly
this
too
is
fast,
probably
you might explode.
one of my favorite episodes.
Well, I vaguely remember that your mom and dad didn't fight very much, and your dad used to yell, but only at the TV. And that's why I like to hang out with you.
Oh,
Well, my
Fluttershy.
mom used to say that when I was flying around the house, and for a long time, I thought it was bunk. But you know what? I think maybe it's not bunk.
Okay, I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. I think she's not lying to me.
I'm sorry. My parents were brutally honest with me too.
Oh
I know
no.
how it can be.
No,
Yeah.
it's good that they were honest with me. It's good in this case.
Okay.
Because I just read in the newspaper 2 weeks ago that there's going to be a big flyers competition out at Cloudsdale. Guess how I'm going to win it?
Practice.
No, it's in 2 weeks. There's no time for that.
Hard work.
Closer, you're getting warmer.
Cheating.
No, cold.
Giving up.
No, because how am I supposed to win if I give up? Fluttershy, you
No,
can't.
these two in the same scene are so fantastic.
I'm going to win by flying so fast that I explode. Okay, now so everything is really theoretical, so I'm going to do one trial run, and I need you to watch and tell everyone if I did it. If it works, I'll be exploded, so you gotta be convincing. So show me what you're gonna sound like if I explode. No. Fluttershy, you have to be happy if I explode. It's a good thing, okay?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if I start telling everyone with a great big smile that one of my friends exploded.
It's okay, they're gonna get the context. My mom used to say it all the time. So
Man.
let's see Fluttershy smile. Big smile.
So here, Rainbow Dash cannot do the Sonic Rain Boom.
Oh no. Rainbow Dash is finally dead.
No, I'm not dead.
I just screwed up the trick.
Well, could you try harder?
I'm
Because
trying as hard as I can, but you know.
because you're breaking through my wall so often that I'm starting to get used to it. I
Oh.
don't know how I feel about that.
You know, last
Yeah.
week she broke my window.
To be truthful, Sugar Cube, I think y'all could get your job done in about 10 seconds. If you work that hard every day, you'd probably get promoted.
Man, I thought that too, like,
Right,
years ago.
but
you know what happens if I do
hourly
that in 10
pay.
seconds? I go home. I get paid by the hour.
Yeah.
I'm not self-employed.
Yeah,
Well,
that's the problem with the 9 to 5 system. Is when you finish the job early, yeah, you don't get paid.
Pinkie Pie has found the vantage above you. She has become like God.
All right,
guys,
sure,
I like
that
spoiled
makes sense,
holiday.
Pinky.
Okay, Yellow Girl we don't know. If you're gonna insist on slowing this down, you need to leave.
Okay.
Oh man,
I'm really sorry.
Oh.
Are you leaving?
Yes.
Fluttershy is
Okay,
probably one of
good.
the best
Go be
characters
sorry
of
somewhere else then,
MAS
please. Thank you.
that Greg has
Okay.
made, but like
Sorry.
the way they keep hurting Fluttershy here is just.
Bravo, Dash. That was stupider than I thought. it was
Oh
going to be.
man,
What do you mean, like a sonic boom?
What is a sonic boom?
A
Oh,
sonic
man.
boom is when you travel 1,225
You should never tell
kilometers per hour.
Rainbow
It
this.
creates a loud noise.
Oh my god, science proved my mom.
You can't travel that fast because the wind resistance would rip your wings off.
I'm
Hmm.
gonna win the competition and see the Wonderful.
Sounds like y'all might want to get a new ambition, Sugar Cube.
So you're saying it can be done?
No.
No.
Those are my favorite odds. I'll see you
Oh.
guys in the newspaper in 2 weeks.
Oh, Rainbow.
So, I know you're real afraid of flying, so I just want to say thank you for coming out to Cloudsdale to help support me and stuff. If you fall down and you forget that you don't have wings like you used to when we were kids, then just scream really loud and I'll try to rescue you. I can afford to put onions in the soup.
So, seeing anybody?
Yeah, my eyesight's still pretty good. I can see you guys. I'm not an old gray mare yet.
That's good. I got contacts.
I'm here for the Flyers competition.
Flyers competition? Dash, that was 2 weeks ago.
What? No, it wasn't. I saw a newspaper 4 weeks ago that said it was in 2 weeks.
Rainbow.
Wait.
Rainbow.
I guess you missed it. So, sorry, Dash.
But yeah, no, that this episode was a lot of fun. I love the interaction between Rainbow and Fluttershy. Like their conversations are just so they're so ridiculous. Cause Fluttershy would just the way Fluttershy interacts with Rainbow in this version is that she'll just listen and just goes on with what Rainbow's saying, and so Rainbow will just continue to do the most random stuff. So it's lots of fun. It is also fun that this version of Rumodash is just not capable of doing the sports stuff because she's just man, no, this is fun. On to the next one.
You who must not be named.
I
come to discuss
the
perfectly
Stairmaster
ordinary
episode.
business, which is not the least bit suspicious. But before we begin, I must ask you, what
some more
are you wearing?
Thrakazod.
Yes, it's
Yeah, some of the backwards speak, the subtitles, which subtitles go by so fast you can't always read what's going
Let me
on.
be frank in saying that our contract with the devious Twilight Sparkle has been to our disadvantage.
I'm like Fluttershy in this moment because we have no idea what this conversation is. This whole section with the king in yellow isn't the best to react to because it's half a conversation.
The source of her power cannot be friendship.
Actually, I think it's the gemstones that contain all the magic.
It's a bit ambiguous,
Or it's inside of us all along.
but I'm
not
pretty sure
really
it's
sure.
ultimately
We
the
found
inside
some
of us all
gemstones in the
along. Yeah.
Everfree, and they're supposed to be important, but they kind of look like plastic.
See? Their power is either innate or granted by gemstones. But I have obtained 2 unwitting accomplices.
Mm-hmm.
I shall gather them here on tomorrow's eve, and we shall conduct a search of the Everfree Forest.
Okay. See you tomorrow.
Fluttershy just
Belle.
goes along with it. She's just like,
Yes,
oh,
She
okay.
does not suspect a thing.
Don't know what this
And I
is.
shall see to it that no others become aware of our true intentions.
So what is Thrakazod 2 rarity? is Thrakarzad like possessing Sweetie Belle, or is Thrakarzad Sweetie Belle? And Rarity's just living with his child.
Sweetie Belle is no proper substitute for happiness. She's loud and she's needy and obsessed with statistics. I don't even know what part of the family that comes from. Maybe Dad. He's always on about his sports.
That's okay. Sweetie Belle has a lot of dreams that I remember as a kid. And since one of her dreams sometimes meets with Sweetie Belle in my living room, I think I may have repressed memories.
Sweetie Belle, I don't think you
Interesting.
think Fluttershy.
That is too bad, because in normal child fashion, I have invited my friends without consulting you.
Maybe you gotta be prepared for a surprise sleepover with Scootaloo on any night. Hoot!
Call the police. Scootaloo. Menace to society.
We now have in contractual writing an agreement stating that you are ill-prepared, probably very foolish,
Yes.
not at all suited for this task, especially compared to moi,
Of course.
definitely a great deal less feminine than myself, and you still will accept full liability for anything that happens, whether the charges be criminal or civil, and you'll pay all the associated court
Always have it in
I don't
writing.
care how you try to deter me. Does AJ know that I signed this contract involving her sister?
The Apple family has never had enough bumpkin sense or foresight for this type of thing, but I'll cut them in if I have to.
What about Scootaloo? Do you know her parents? Who do I call if she gets in trouble?
The police, usually, but don't feel badly about it, trust me, she's...
So should we start by destroying something, or should we just wear Fluttershy out with our terrible
Oh,
child
Apple
image?
Bloom.
I say we use up all of Fluttershy's makeup to make ourselves look sexy. Hoot!
Please don't lean in my chairs.
Maybe
Let's go do something else. But I was telling you a story.
Oh.
Well, it's a boring story about a weak character who ain't no fun.
Where is that makeup? Let's put some on and then test kissing on each other. Hoot!
Okay, I just lost all my energy. Maybe now is time for bed after all.
Yeah.
Yes, it is time for Fluttershy to lower her guard.
Bedtime. Bedtime for everyone now. Can't y'all at least give us a glass of apple cider? Granny always gives me a glass of apple cider.
I don't have any
I don't
apple
have
cider.
Any apple cider.
But maybe...
Maybe you'll be just as happy as long as we pretend we have apple cider.
What are you saying, Fluttershy?
Did Twilight wrong you or something?
No, of course not. No more than she wrongs most ponies.
Well,
Yes.
I think she does wrong most.
But
ponies.
why does
Yes.
Thrakarzad want
And wish Twilight to lose her
Twilight?
powers.
Okay, see, now I get.
Like, I think they're trying to explain it here as she has access to something, but I don't understand any of this
All right,
lore.
I think all of us are aware of the danger out here, so we need to stay as quiet as possible. Because there was a whole bunch of fuss when Celestia showed up and took a bunch of that cheap jewelry back to Canterlot a while ago.
When did this happen?
Like, a few months ago.
Darn it! It must have been when I was on that family trip.
Uh-huh.
My father's unrepentant thirst for camping is truly a burden on us all. So after that, we got lost and didn't
So,
find our way
I guess we've
for
established
3
that
hours.
Thrakarzad
We were lucky
existed
not to be devoured.
before episode 1?
As did I.
I don't know.
The others are upstairs sleeping now.
Well, that's that episode, which is not my favorite. I always enjoy more Thrakarzad than Fluttershy, but this time around, you know, about like a third or maybe half the episode was like undistinguishable dialogue that you have to read and you can't read because it goes by too fast. Plus, like, very confusing lore that you don't quite understand. But anyway. So yeah, that was this batch of episodes for the Mentally Advanced series. Like I said, here we get to see the change in the format from going from video to like still frame imagery. We got to experience some of the best moments, some of the best episodes where characters have some dialogue. I don't always love everything that's featured in each episode. Sometimes they're tangents and conversations that I don't quite understand. Others that I'm just not fond of or don't really care about. But, yeah, there's always usually something to enjoy in each one of these. But yeah, that's what I gotta say. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you all next time. Bye.